welcome to episode number 3 of our Nottingham Forest career mode, better known as Unfinished Business. As you know, in episode 2, we left with a very, very disappointing look to the table. We are in the bottom 3, 1 draw, 1 loss. As I discussed in the previous episode, we would be playing around with the difficulty. In this episode, the 2 games will be played on World Class to see how they go. If they go too well, we will bump it up to Legendary and basically suck eggs for the entire season and see if I'm good enough to actually play on Legendary and actually get on into those playoff positions or even win the title. It was very interesting to see some of you guys thinking that I could finish in that top 4. I mean, there's a lot of people saying I would make the playoffs, but finishing in that top 4, I mean, 5th or 6th is good enough, trust me. But to finish in the top 4 would be sensational. Even the top 2 would be, I think, would be mind-blowing. I don't know if I'm at that level. Hopefully these 2 games will go well and we can bump up to Legendary. So it's a bit more of a challenge. And I just hope and pray that I'm good enough to provide decent content. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this series because I can't wait to get my teeth fully into this career mode. It's something I wanted to do for a long time. Something I regret not finishing. And hopefully we will come out on the correct side of those playoffs. But who knows? Touch wood, it all goes well. But as you can see from the early exchanges, it was QPR who were all over us. But in the 18th minute, we bombed down that right-hand side. Patterson with pace to absolutely burn. Going to the byline, pulls the ball back, and a great header by Lafondra at the back post to give us a deserved 1-0 lead. But you will see from the replays, the QPR centre-back comes in with a diving header in the middle of the goal. Look at that diving header. Takes out his own goalkeeper, which I think slightly hindered him. I think otherwise he just got hit as he was going for the save. I think he might have got to that, to be honest. So he was hindered, and I'm not going to complain. But it was a beautiful play there. The ball into Patterson, into Lansbury. Lansbury with the shot, deflected, goes wide. But it was nice to see Lansbury getting forward. When you play him in a forward role, he comes to life like an absolute boss. Abdoun going past the fullback for QPR with ease. Great cross in, nice header, but this time Green is equal to it. And we start on the right-hand side with Lehigh knocking the ball into Patterson. I really do like Patterson. Playing him left midfield, right midfield, he's such a good player. A technically really gifted player with pace to burn. He feels so quick and agile. He's so good to use. We went in at half-time thanks to that Lafondra goal, giving us the 1-0 lead. But you can never write off QPR. They're a fantastic side. Very, very good going forward. They've got Charlie Austin up front, who is deadly as anybody. He really is quite deadly. They blinked first, though, bringing on full line. They were getting overrun in the centre of the park, and they made the changes straight away. But a beautiful ball played into Abdoun. Abdoun breaking into that box. Left foot shot. Top corner. 2-0 after 56 minutes. Absolutely sensational finish. Abdoun is so much fun. He is a great player. I've got such high expectations for him. I really want to see him bombing on this season, getting me some goals. The same as Patterson, you know. It's going to be difficult for Patterson to stay in the side. We have got to obviously rotate, but we've got such a good front line of players. It's going to be really interesting season to see who can secure the places within the team. Joey Button on the edge of the box. Doesn't do very well at all. Wilson takes the ball away from him, makes him look a bit of a mug. Beautiful play there into Vorney. Vorney plays the ball into Lafondra. Lafondra has the ball under some magical spell. The defender looked like he had it. Lafondra pulls it back and then he just slots it home in that bottom corner. Absolutely sensational finish. Great ball in. I don't know how he had that ball under a spell, but he did. The defender looked like he was going to have it. Lafondra gets it back, and look at that for a finish. Finesses it into the bottom corner. Greeny beating all day long, and that secures a 3-0 lead at this moment in time. But QPR kept coming at us, And I believe it's Lansbury picking up that ball, bombing forward, and he plays a sensational ball through to Patterson. Patterson, outside of the left foot, chips it over the oncoming Green into an empty net. What an unbelievable finish. What a cheeky finish. Oh my days. You bring the cookies, I'll bring the chocolate chips, because that was sensational. Absolutely takes the George Michael. Outside of the left foot. Look at the composure, the coolness, the calmness. He is seriously an ice-cold killer. That was a beautiful finish. And the ball to set him up was of a different level. Absolutely sensational. At this moment in time, the way they're playing, we look unstoppable. The team feel unstoppable. And as the referee blows the full-time whistle, a 4-0 smashing, domination, demolition, battering. Dress it up however you want with some salad dressing. But QPR seriously got served the sword, and that was a very, very convincing victory. And it makes me believe that perhaps World Class is a bit too easy, and I need to make that step up to Legendary. You know, it was tough on Legendary, the 0-0 against Leeds and the 1-0 loss against Middlesbrough, but I don't want it to be too easy. and start smashing teams with such vigour. 4-0 is quite a scoreline against a team who's quite good. So as you can see, we're going to continue making progress with Jacob Mellors. I feel we have to bring him in because we don't have the rotation in the centre of the park. I looked at the team, I looked at the squad, and we've got plenty of centre-backs and right-backs and left-backs. So the back line's covered. We've got plenty of boys up top who I can rotate. So we've got that covered. It's the centre of the park and we left-right midfielders, that we need to make changes to. And I feel the centre of the park more than anything. Definitely more than, Jonathan Green and his legs are going, bless him. Reedy, his legs are going, bless him. That only really leaves us, Gardner, Vaughan, Lansbury, and if we can get hold of him, Mellors. So we haven't got a lot of versatility in that centre, CDM stroke centre midfield position. So we do change up the formation. I adopt the 4-2-3-1, drop the 4-4-3. 4-3-3, not the 4-4-3. If I could play 4-4-3, I would, but I don't think I'll be able to get away with that, unfortunately. So we drop that. And we go with the 4-2-3-1. And as you know, I am putting a lot of pressure on Lansbury. He's really got to go ham this season. I want to give him the captain's armbag. I want him to do extremely well. And because I think he's a fantastic player. But at this moment in time, the limelight is falling firmly on Lefondre, who is settling in to wearing the Forest shirt in such fantastic style. He's absolutely just on a different level at this moment in time. The confidence he's playing with, the finishing of the boy is just magnificent. But as you can see, early doors, Bolton get hold of the ball really well. But look at Darlow coming out, closing that out. Absolutely sensational. The boy is a magnificent keeper. We pick up the play in the 18th, 17th, 18th minute. Abdoun spreading the ball over the top. A beautiful pass. It was into Lansbury. Lansbury going with a cross. Great defending there by Bolton, and they were really, really resilient. But we were getting the gaps. We were nicking them on the counter-attack. The ball's fed into Lefondre. Lefondre into the box. Left foot strike. Hits the post. How that stayed out, I do not know. But Lefondre is so sharp at the moment. The runs, the intelligence of the runs is sensational. Nice little 1-2 there. Lansbury had to beat a play. Feeds it back into Lefondre. And Lefondre just dinks it into the top corner just because he can. And look at the cool calm celebration. You know he's loving wearing that Forest shirt. You know he's loving being at a big team, a big club. No disrespect to Reading, but he knows he's at a big club with a history. And that was sensational to see him score. Great cross, unfortunately was not meant to be. He gets to the byline and it was just an absolute car crash of a cross. But Lefondre goes in at half-time, having given us a nice 1-0 lead. I decide to mix it up, bring on some changes. I bring on Mackie and I also bring on Majewski. Majewski I really, really do like. He's such a good player. And it's going to be, again, it's difficult for him to break into the side, the same as Patterson. We've got such good players up top. Some nice play there by Lansbury. Feeds the ball into Majewski. Majewski just sticks in the top corner. But that was all down to the crafting and guile of Lansbury. Nice fake shot. Created the space for him. Feeds it into Majewski. Majewski just sticks it in the top corner and says, thank you ever so much for serving that on a platter plate. Because that was not only a beautiful finish, but again, the pass from Lansbury was just unbelievable. The boy is sensational, but it's Majewski on the left-hand side, gets the ball in, and that was a simple save for the Bolton keeper. We didn't get into the front of it, which would have been nice to be netting our third goal. But again, Majewski causing them all sorts of trouble down that left-hand side. Swings the ball in, back post, great shot, blocked. Keeper comes out, palms at it, just flaps at it for no reason whatsoever. And we clear it up simply with a nice little finish. But the keeper has got to be at blame there, It's a great first block. The defender, I suppose, was getting in his way, to be fair. But he flapped at it. The ball just came out and we just knocked it in to make it 3-0. And then we start to dive in. We start to give Bolton some disrespect by just allowing them too much time, too much space, being a little bit cocky because we are winning 3-0 and it does feel like it's being too easy at this moment in time. We're just playing a lot better football. We're playing with a lot more confidence than our opponents. And as you can see, we do sail to a 3-0 victory, which was, to be fair, absolutely sensational. But it does confirm to me, and I'm sure it does to you guys, that we will be knocking it up to legendary and not going back to world class. It's going to be legendary, just due to the fact that we scored 7 in 2 games. So I only put 2 games in this episode because I didn't want to ruin it by doing too many games on world class because it just felt far, far too easy. I don't know why, because I'm struggling on world class in my Frankfurt career, but on this career, I seem to be pissing it. But there you go, guys. We're back in the top of the table. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you later.
I used to dream about cars and things, about being a star and things. I thought that